World proudly brings you the International Netball Series. We love netball as much as you do.
It's now or never for the Silver Ferns. The Diamonds dominated in Australia, but tonight Auckland is playing host and New Zealand is desperate to perform.
It's time for us to step up. We know we have it in us. There's no room for error, and for you at home, are you ready?
Has come to put out a united front, and every player must take responsibility. Can the Ferns walk away from this series with their heads held high? Welcome to Vector Arena in Auckland, one of the best stadiums in the country for watching international netball. We've got around 7,000 people here this evening, all hoping the Silver Ferns can get one back on the World Champions. Good evening, New Zealand. Great to have you with us for the final of the New World International Netball Test. Now, it's going to be a tough task for the Silver Ferns this evening, bearing in mind they had that crushing 1-goal defeat to the Diamonds in Invercargill. But the last time they played here at Vector, they did beat the Diamonds by 7 goals. So hopefully that will hold them in good stead. Now, we've got a few famous faces here tonight, and Jordan has found one of them who certainly knows how physical netball can be. Jordan.
Yes, I am, Tony. I'm here with David, the two-man tour. Now, Dave, I didn't know you're a fan of netball, mate.
Man, hard. But, hey, it's all about supporting New Zealand sports, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to come out and support the girls, so I'm just happy to be part of it, yeah.
Now, Dave, you've got a big occasion coming up, October 3rd, fight of the century. Under 2 weeks ago, you're looking strong, you're looking fit. How are you feeling?
Almost as good as you, man. Everything is going really well. Lee Parode and Roger Bloodwood has been kicking my butt every day, so our sparring partners have been working really, really hard, you know, getting me in great shape. We're just looking forward to 3rd of October, so yeah.
And tonight in the test, who are you picking, New Zealand or Australia?
New Zealand, of course.
Good man. Well, hopefully you are right, David, because they need the perfect finish in New Zealand before they head off on their busy international series. After tonight's test match here in Auckland, the Ferns leave for Manchester for the World Series. It's a one-off test in Bath against England. And then on the way home, they stop in Jamaica for 2 tests.
Australian coach Norma Plummer has said she may empty her bench during the week, but we all know our good old friend Norma Plummer likes to keep us guessing. So here's Jordan with the Australian lineup.
Well, despite all the talk, Norma Plummer's lineup is fairly similar to what we've seen all series. Susan Pratley is at goal shoot with Sherelle McMahon at goal attack. Lauren Nurse gets the call up to wing attack. Natalie Von Berto is at centre, and Renee Hallinan is at wing defence. The same defensive combo as always with Julie Corletto at goal defence and Susan Furman at goalkeeper. So Kath Cox is on the bench along with Kimberly Green. Norma Plummer is certainly not going to take her finger off the button tonight.
Australia never walks out without wanting to win. I mean, that's always the focus, and don't let anyone ever tell you it's any different. All teams want to win, and regardless if it's a dead rubber or not, it's still classed in rankings, and it's still a test match, and it's a test match that you've got to be proud that you're actually participating in.
Shooter Catherine Cox. No, she's starting with a very secure shooting circle again. She knows it works for her. Cox, she knows what she's capable of. She's got 72 caps, so we may see the inclusion of her at some stage, Jenny May. But what she's working on in this test, I believe, is that midcourt, an area where she hasn't done a lot of experimenting and hasn't got a great deal of depth. This time starting with Nurse, who played in the first test in Sydney at wing attack, but this time she'll be teaming up with Bomberto, who was injured at that time, and I think she'll relish that opportunity. Australia was in game 1. The Silver Ferns won that, so hopefully that's a good omen for the Ferns. But we know that Norma Plummer, she'll want to spoil Irene van Dijk's party.
Well, if that's not an indication of how badly Norma Plummer wants to win this one, I don't know what else is. Stay with us, New Zealand. We'll have the Silver Ferns line up right after the break. Welcome back to Vector Arena in Auckland. Now, Ruth Aiken says she's going to play her very best starting lineup this evening. But what exactly is that? We've seen a lot of different combinations, particularly down that attacking end. Here's Jordan with the Kiwi lineup.
In her 100th game wearing the Silver Fern, Irene van Dijk will begin at goal shoot, with Maria Tutaia getting her first start in 3 matches at goal attack. The mid-court combination hasn't changed, with Temapata George at wing attack, Laura Langman is at centre, and Jolene Henry now a regular starter at wing defence. Ruth Aiken likes Casey Williams out of the circle. She's at goal defence again tonight, with Katrina Grant at goal keep. So Paula Griffin goes to the bench tonight, Ruth Aiken taking no risks with her bench players at all.
Oh, look, every time New Zealand gets out there on court against Australia, it means something. And no matter what Norma might be doing in terms of her lines, they'll want to win as well. They don't want to give up to New Zealand. So for us, it's about finishing strongly. It is about pride. It's about, giving people in New Zealand something, showing them, the way we can play and that we can finish it off.
Let you have it like you've never had before. So take me, take me, take me.
Well, a fairly predictable lineup from Silver Ferns coach Ruth Aiken, but Julie, they have opted to go with the strongest 7 in the squad.
And you'd expect that, because a win is very, very important for this team tonight, especially for their confidence going forward to the English tour, and also with the Com Games just around the corner next year. Also, the comment from Norma Plummer this week to say that she doesn't expect anything more from this New Zealand team. So for me, it's really important that the Silver Ferns leave her with something to go away and think about.
Well, someone else who's given us plenty to think about this week has been the young skipper Casey Williams, with her straight talking after in the post-match interviews, and I'm pretty sure she won't back down, wanting to get one over her Trans-Tasman rivals.
No, she's certainly a straight shooter, Jenny May, and back at goal defence this evening, Kerry. That seems to be the favoured position for her.
Yeah, look, Ruth's going for a more settled lineup tonight. She always talks about her links and how they need improving. Let's hope that those are established by now and we see a polished and confident performance from the Silver Ferns.
Absolutely. How often do we hear those links? I want to talk about Irene van Dijk for a second, her 100th game tonight, and she deserves this start, doesn't she? She is the best shooter we have.
Yeah, look, she's got the pedigree, and she's won World Championships, Commonwealth Games for us, and she's also sits at 90% in her international career. We owe her that opportunity. There's no one else really to step up at the moment. We're just lucky that right now she's ours.
Absolutely, and she made such a massive impact when she first came over from South Africa in 2000, and she deserves to have a cracker tonight.
I think my way of shooting would be predominantly with my right hand, with the left hand just supporting the ball and making sure it goes in the right direction. I pretty much shoot from my fingertips and having a soft hand at the end. It comes down to the biomechanics of the shot, so it is not looking where the ball is going or where it's going to hit, but actually visualizing the follow through on the shot. So it brings it down to bending your knees, following through with your hand, having a soft hand at the end, and then the swish through the goalpost. So you'll have a look at the bottom of the goalposts just so you know where the goalpost is, and then you just do all those biomechanics and the ball should go in. Every person in New Zealand want to represent their country, because it gives you power, it gives you that little bit of edge. And to represent the Silver Ferns, it is the ultimate.
Welcome back to Vector Arena. The Silver Ferns are looking for a much better start this evening. Casey Williams has won the toss, so a good start there. The Silver Ferns will have the chance to dictate play right from the very beginning. Given that this is a little bit of a dead rubber, what's it like bench side, Jordan?
Well, I can tell you, Tony, the sideline, it has been pretty intense. The girls seem like that loss by 1 point in Invercargill really hurt them, or more motivated them. During the warm-up, Casey Williams is making sure that her troops are focused, because they do not want to lose 4-1 to the Diamonds before they head overseas. Now tonight, I hope the Ferns can really pull it together with Irene's big 100th game. And yes, it's a momentous occasion for all of them. So for here sideline, I'd like to pass it over to your commentators for tonight's test match. It's former Silver Fern Jenny May Coffin and Julie Coney.
Thanks, Jordan. Yes, indeed, a special night ahead for the veteran shooter, Irene van Dijk, the Centurion. No doubt wanting to celebrate in style, and what better way than with a win over her Trans-Tasman rivals Australia. And her Silver Ferns teammates will be well aware of the significance of tonight's match as well, but will have to keep their emotions in check if they want to end the series with a crucial confidence-building victory. And that lady there, Sherelle McMahon, Julie, she'll be wanting to stop the celebrations, even though Australia were able to give her a winning celebration in Brisbane.
Absolutely, another Centurion, 101 caps for Sherelle McMahon, a tremendous player, and didn't she make a difference when she was playing at goal attack last week? And that's certainly an area that Casey Williams will want to tighten up on. I think that's why she had her heart on her sleeve a little bit at the end of the game, because I don't feel that she had the impact on Sherelle that she would have liked to have had.
I've got a bit of a hold-up before the match with just had to fix one of the goalposts. Pretty sure Irene van Dijk will want to make sure that that's all sorted ahead of her big match tonight. But in terms of Van Dijk, she's an incredible ambassador for the sport. Every young shooter wants to be like her. Her longevity in the sport is testament to her physical and emotional strength. As we wait for the teams to come onto the court,
I think it was been mentioned as well, just the fact that Irene van Dijk has not had an injury in all the time that she's played. Nothing serious anyhow. She's never gone from the court or from a test match through a serious injury. It's pretty amazing for the number of tests that she's played.
Indeed it is, as Australia come onto the court. Renee Hallinan has been impressive throughout this series, so too is this lady here, Julie Corletto. And Susan Furman's been the talk of the town, able to shut Van Dijk down in the last couple of matches.
Well, they've really developed that defence, haven't they? 3 youngies that have come in off the back of injury to more experienced Diamonds players.
Dr. Catherine Gaffney and physio Sean Mungover.
So Australia on the court, and now we wait for the Silver Ferns, who will be led out by the Centurion. At 37 years of age, Irene van Dijk in her 172nd international. As the Silver Ferns allowed Irene van Dijk just that moment to have the crowd appreciate what a phenomenal feat she has achieved. Van Dijk is in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the most capped international netballer of all time, and I'm pretty sure we won't ever see that surpassed.
Tears there, Jenny May.
Well, even though she was born and bred in South Africa, she's pledged her allegiance to the Silver Ferns and to New Zealand. So an emotional time for Judith Rose from the UK in the middle, and to her left, Joelle Young-Strong. As we stand for the national anthems in New Zealand, sung by Nick Arfour, Rebecca Wright will sing Australia's anthem.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. With golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. With history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the New Zealand national anthem, sung by Nick Arfour.
Emotion at the start of this match. Sitting courtside for tonight's match is Kerry Wills. Kerry, a few tears for you even.
Yes, look, and I was looking up into the crowd and there were people in the crowd crying, and that has to be one of the best national anthems sung by a crowd at a netball venue that I've heard in a very long time. So everyone's here to back up Irene in her 100th game.
Sophie Bush, 12 from Henderson, hands the ball over to Laura Langman. And the start whistle for Irene Van Dyke's 100th test in the black dress gets underway. And not off to a great start. A mistake there from Te Pata George, perhaps the emotion taking over a little bit at the beginning of this match for the Silver Ferns. Australia just getting into the business. New player on the court, Lauren Nurse at wing attack for Australia. Good pick up from McMahon. Almost got away from her.
Planted that back foot to give herself a good close shot, secure that first one and a break off New Zealand's first centre pass. They may take a little time to settle after that emotional start, Jen May.
And a mistake here from Australian shooter Susan Prattley.
But they need to get over it quickly.
Callanan gets into her work pretty quickly.
Yes.
Henry with the throw-in.
Using the whole court, the full width of it.
Good ball speed, good turn from Van Dyke. Let the ball go straight away across the circle to George. Nice pop from Maria Tutaia.
Nice shot from the home girl.
attack for the Silver Ferns, and they break the Australian centre pass.
Well, everyone's waiting for it, and it hasn't happened yet. After a minute and a half, Irene van Dijk with her first shot. And pop over the top.
We're not going to see it.
No, too big.
Just off the fingertips.
Oh! Well, that was an interesting one. I almost thought that was a toss-up. I would have thought both players running at each other.
Well, they don't have those toss-ups much longer, do they? Any longer, rather.
And a mistake from Ferns. Tutaya on the baseline. Ferns determined to starve Van Dijk of the ball and any chance of getting up her first shot. Great defensive work there from Laura Langman, causing the mistake. Tutaya finds Van Dijk, looking to offload.
Umpire just not in a position there to see Von Berto put a hand to that ball and obstruct.
Just a little hesitation then from Van Dijk. Felt she could have popped forward and offered for the ball. It's Tutaya that's doing all the work on the offer.
Tutaya playing some really nice angles.
Good to see her start strong as well. She's got Paula Griffin breathing down her back now in that goal attack position, so she really needs to stand up.
Good defensive work here between Grant and Williams. Nurse finds her skipper, McMahon, with a long shot for McMahon. She's feeling good. George looking for the pass and cut. Ball doesn't come to her though.
But it was a really good interchange. The ball didn't come to her, and Maria Tutaya made herself available for it, with George clearing the space.
Well, and great defence off the centre pass from Henry, as we saw Van Dijk with her first shot in her 100th Test match.
Oh, I haven't seen tension on the face of the coach, Ruth Aiken, that early in a match.
No, usually fairly relaxed.
Good defence there from the encircled defenders.
Let down though by Langman, who just was within the 3 foot and just turned around and hit the ball out of her hand. Undid all the good work that was being done in the circle by Grant and Henry, and a lovely shot from Pratley.
It's a very high shot, isn't it? Very difficult to deflect when it's coming off the hand that high, that steep.
Some trouble for the Silver Ferns on attack, trying to get off that centre pass. Hallinan and Corletto doing the damage. Great pass from Tutaya.
Tutaya's had a magnificent start, both on her delivery and her timing of movement and availability to the ball. Here it is on the replay. Look at the speed of this pass.
And the work from Irene van Dijk too. She rolled and she dodged. Getting Susan Furman moving is probably where we want her to be.
Yes, good defence and a held ball. Good effort from the Silver Ferns defensive end. Oh, risky pass, but it pays off. Nice drive from Williams, but overcooks the pass. But too much enthusiasm on the end of that ball. Furman finds Hallinan. Nice drive from Corletto. Nice passing and cutting from McMahon and Nurse.
Also Nurse, she did well, didn't she, to drive and get herself right on the circle edge, because that's when New Zealand have been quite effective in keeping them off that space for the feed. Dodge perfect from George.
Nice roll from Van Dijk on the baseline. George opted to go for the long one though to Tutaya. rebounded.
Great rebound from Van Dijk. So seeing a lot of really good basic skills at the moment from the Silver Ferns.
Van Dijk asking the umpire if Corletto could just move over.
Give her some space to put that shot up.
Brendan Telfer. Gosh, he looks good, that man, doesn't he? And a nice pass from Langman. Ferman's head was down. She turned and let it go. Ferman, though, determined to spoil the shot from Van Dijk.
It's just great to see them playing with confidence and letting the ball go on attack, especially after that disappointing loss, rather. There you see it, the brilliant, quick delivery from Langman.
Langman in the, beg your pardon, Williams in the wars. And a misunderstanding between Corletto and Nurse.
Yes, well, Nurse, the new player in the mix.
And a player that Norma Plummer rates. She does play centre in the ANZ Championships.
As we mentioned earlier, she did play in that first test in Sydney, but Greenway was playing at centre with her because of the injury to Vomberto.
Yes. Bring it down.
Yeah. Lucky to get away with that one. Tutaya, misunderstanding between her and Van Dijk. But Ferman is called for the contact, so Tutaya will get a shot.
Yes, Ferman's heavily marking Irene Van Dijk, so our feeders just got to be a little bit careful when they put the ball in to make sure that Van Dijk's arms are free to take the ball.
So another misunderstanding. This is a great lead the Silver Ferns have. Can they hold on to it? That's the question. We've seen it dwindled away in the past few games with Australia keeping their cool.
Well, it's a great start, isn't it? And you just don't want to be chasing.
That was a brilliant intercept from Grant. Unlucky to be called from the umpire. The crowd doesn't like it either.
Yeah, any goalkeeper would know that is so hard to do, and they work so hard to get that ball.
Let's have a look at it. She gets around, her hands on that ball. That was a brilliant intercept. So hard done by there, Katrina Grant. Yes, Henry, discipline within the 3 feet. And again, I think Henry and Langman have to tidy up on the outside because their inside defence are doing such good work, and they don't want it undone by undisciplined play on the outside.
Yes, certainly most of the ball going into the circle in the Australian circle at the moment is contested by Casey Williams and Katrina Grant.
Contact on Temepara George, hands the ball to Australia. So Australia not with the same drive with Nurse in at wing attack that they had with Kimberly Green. What a great take that was from McMahon. Brilliant.
Sensational. How she kept her balance and didn't step in that situation is amazing.
No, I mean this in a good way. She's a freak of nature.
And you're just talking about that lead, Jenny May, and look at that. It's back to within one. And that's what the Aussies can do. They can just sneak up from behind so quickly.
Well, you'll see some of the Australian players wearing black armbands, and it's in memory of Frank Rosbrook, who was the chairman of the former Melbourne Phoenix club, who passed away last Wednesday. So you'll see a couple of the players, Corletto, Callanan, and also McMahon, all from Melbourne, paying tribute. That was good work from Ferman. Those long arms of hers come around for the tip. And Tutaya with a sticky little pass on the goalpost. Her specialty.
It is. She's made that move her own, Tutaya.
Well, I think it was a Bill Colling move first up. Tutaya, they called for the contact, and Henry goes looking for the ball, comes up with the intercept, a nice speed on attack from the Ferns.
Poorly directed pass from Corletto, though. It was going nowhere. Great understanding shown by Maria Tutaia and Irene van Dijk in the circle.
It's also good to see, given that Tutaia hasn't started the last couple of games, so the confidence is still there with that combination of her and Van Dijk. And Helenen, clever little dig over the top.
Yeah, that cross-court pass from Irene van Dijk, that's the second time already that's gone astray. Just needs to take her time on it, I think.
Yeah, contact call on the shooters.
I think also just get her head around and look in first, look in for the first option. The last one she threw away, there was nobody in there, so that was the only option on for her, but I think she does have to look in first.
Jolene Henry,
this time, you see, look in, that's the way. Wasn't on, now she can look for the other options.
Williams hits the deck.
Well, we've got a pretty vocal crowd, haven't we? It's great. They're really getting in behind the team.
Let's have a look at it. Williams. No strength to keep herself from going offside.
Oh, McMahon climbed all up her back, though.
Tutaia asking for the front pass. Long shot. Comfortable one for her, though. Bounces out. Renowned for her long shots. Nurse. Finds Von Berto to McMahon. Good work from Henry. Great steal.
That is very difficult to do too. You know, that was a short pass, but that's the ball that they need to get in the middle of. That's where Australia had so much success in the last test, that short pass.
Well, both Australian defenders opting just to stand under the post while Van Dijk just ran around the top of it.
Yes.
So this to get the Silver Ferns ahead by 3.
And it came off the back of this. The intercept from Jolene Henry. Look at that. Pulls it in as well. Extremely difficult to do.
Bit of argy-bargy going on between Nurse and George. And again, another misunderstanding. But I think this has been caused a little by the presence of Nurse on the court. So it'll be interesting to see whether Norma Plummer opts to keep her on or goes back to her bench against Kimberly Green back on the court. How desperate is she to win this test match?
Well, if I know Norma, she'll want to win it.
Nurse with the ball in hand.
It's an area where Australia doesn't have a great deal of depth. Brilliant.
Yes, obstruction from Pauletto. Had her distance initially, but jumped in. Well, good work from Van Dijk. She hit the ball from behind. It's cleaned up by George.
The timing is so much better on attack for the Silver Ferns. Just making themselves available.
Better work from Grant. She's following shooter all the way out, putting pressure on every single pass. Pratley.
We haven't seen a lot of really nice cuts and drives from the Australians on attack, so the defence are really getting in between them.
Well, that's the end of the first 15 minutes of this fifth and final twist between New Zealand and Australia, and it is the Silver Ferns who go into the second quarter with a 2-goal lead, 11-9.
See you back for more action after the break.
To you, I think you need to come up to drop it, to drop back so that we can get that one-on-one feeding in. It is on. Keep backing yourself, all right? It's just getting those links going and they'll get there. Great shooting.
The Ferns have a 2-goal lead here after the first quarter at Vector Arena. There has been one change to the Australian camp, Kerry.
Yes, and it's Kimberly Green's come on at wing attack, obviously trying to shore up that 2-goal gap. She's been on the last 3 tests. So looking for her to make an impact, Jenny May.
Well, the Silver Ferns have made an impact in the first 15 seconds of this match. It caused a turnover, held ball, and we asked the question before the break, how badly does Norma Plummer want to win? I have to say pretty bad, Julie.
Yeah, it's been answered, hasn't it, with the inclusion of Green, bringing on her most experienced line back to the mid. The connections with Nurse just not working for them.
Clean that up, yes.
No, not getting the same drive, the same punch. And this is a great tussle between Prattley and Williams.
But Henry did a good job on Nurse, I felt. She got 2 intercepts off her.
Well, here we go, team. This is a call that defenders hate. Katrina Grant put her little toe over the court as she went up for the rebound, and now she has to stand beside. But it doesn't matter anyway. That's the umpire's fury coming to correct one for us.
That's dumb. I don't like that rule either. If the shooter can go out, why can't the defender go out?
Exactly.
But anyway, back to something we do know about.
Yes.
Nice pop from Tutaia. Nice roll on the baseline too from Van Dyke. Just bringing that defence off slightly, which opens the pocket up for Tutaia.
I'd have to say this would be the best start I've seen from Maria Tutaia. I think her gameplay and her positional play has been really good. Her shooting leaves a little bit to be desired. She's just 5 from 9 at the moment, so that's an area we'd like to see left. But gosh, she's creating some great space and making some good deliveries into Van Dyke.
And she obviously takes off a little bit of that pressure from Van Dyke. She doesn't mind taking the odd long shot.
That's it. She'll put the shots up. She's put up just as many as Van Dyke.
Nice step back shot from Prattley, getting over those long arms of Williams.
Irene Van Dyke, just the one missed shot. 8 from 9. It would have been nice for her to have got 100 on her 100th match, but not to be. And there's the interception. New Zealand's done very well in that mid-court area. Langman and Henry picking up some good, valuable turnover, and that was with that. They capitalised on that change in that mid-court that Norma Plummer made.
Well, Kimberly Green is a really aggressive player, and she really ties Jolene Henry up, so she can't go looking for anything else. She plays the body, and she plays hard and strong.
Speaking of hard and strong, how was that pass and cut and those passes from the Australian
and
attack
that one
line?
came off the floorboards as well.
Jeepers.
So it was certainly had a lot in behind it.
Contact, wing defense. Penalty, New Zealand. New Zealand round.
Hallinan called for the contact. Yes, Bomberto too close.
Contact, goalkeeper, pass the shot.
Got a whistle going down this end with Judith Groves, the umpire from England.
Well, we saw that from her in the first test. She's quite hard on the defence. It's been really good to actually to have seen the defences adjust to that.
Well, I guess the thing that works for the Silver Ferns is that they will have her end at the end of the match in the last 15 minutes, which could be the difference. McMahon on the baseline. Nice jump from Williams. Great timing.
Yeah, put her off as well.
A good basic screen out from Katrina Grant to ensure that ball was New Zealand's.
Great speed from the Ferns. Good timing. Van Dyke finishes it off. Nice passage of play from the Silver Ferns.
Yes, and that rebound that she screened out down there, it's just showing that's an area of strength for the New Zealanders at both ends of the court.
And a bullet pass from Henry finds Tutaia on the baseline for the Silver Ferns. The crowd of Victor Arena, they like that one.
Again, another good start in this quarter. This is where they need to really put the foot down and try and keep that lead.
Wow, Williams over the top of Prattley. Called by the umpire. Pretty spectacular.
Yeah, great to see her out hunting that high up.
Yeah, this is good defence from the Silver Ferns, closing down that top, looking for the Australians to make that long pass so that the Ferns can come out for the intercepts. Grant and Williams let them go hunting. So good game plan defensively from the Ferns. 5-goal lead to the Silver Ferns, 17-12. And again, easy cut of the top of the circle from Tutai.
Confident on the shot as well. Great to see her going straight to the post.
Susan Furman concedes that roll around the top all the time. If they can drive on top of her, they'll get that ball consistently, the New Zealand shooters.
Yes, opened up. You could see her looking for that fake. Her peripheral vision is fantastic. She could see that that intercept was on. Looked to pop the ball into Pratley. Williams teeters on the transverse line. Nice drive from George. Look for the fake pass, but it faked Tutai out.
Great zone. The zone defence is being set by the Silver Ferns just to slow that ball down as it comes out from the defence end for Australia.
Wonderful take from Von Berto.
Again, they're having to really pass that ball across court, Australia, so it's great defensive work. Just not allowing them, Australia, to get into that speed and that rhythm that they love on attack.
Yes, look at McMahon cut that baseline. Releases the ball and gets down court quickly.
Yes, great timing on the pop.
Contact their keeper. Defense, penalty pass. Your shot, yes?
So the gap just 3 now.
Holding Australia centre, third.
Von Berto called for holding on the centre pass. Feeling with her arms to see where George is. Yeah, good pass. Always on. Van Dijk. Corletto gives away. A bit of height against Van Dijk.
And that's the beauty. Tutai put the shot up from that position a few moments ago. That time the pass. So getting into the defence's head, not letting them get into any pattern or rhythm on them.
And also recognising the mismatch in height that Corletto was back on Van Dijk.
Australian skipper keeping things ticking over for her side and shooting in. Oh, great take from Langman. Wayward pass from Van Dijk.
New Zealand.
Green and Henry reigniting their battle. Nice passing cut from George. Yes, good to see the head down again. Good option from Langman. It's a second one. Not finished off though by Van Dijk. Yes, again, there's such a good understanding between Pratley and McMahon. Pratley keeping the veteran Catherine Cox on the bench since game 1.
She's a bit of an unsung hero, really, with the likes of McMahon outside of her. She was outstanding in that last test.
And she is, Cat Cox. Hasn't been a great season for her. Champions in the Trans-Tasman Trophy.
Oh, well picked up, Williams.
Last year. Second to last this year. Nice dodge on the baseline from Van Dijk.
Yes, I like the way Irene Van Dijk's moving Susan Furman tonight. Even if she holds, she moves off it as well. She does at least 2 movements to get that ball.
You can just see it here, how she's freeing herself up from the defence. Took her back, came forward again.
Oh, we've got a timeout here. Maria Tutai taking some time out, injury time. Be a shame, not only for the team, but to see her go from the court after having such a great start to this match. Really stamping her authority on this match after sitting on the bench 2 matches behind the youngster, Paula Griffin. So after a bit of a shaky start, the Silver Ferns got back into this game. They lead Australia by 3, 20-17.
But again, in both these tests, beg your pardon, both these quarters, New Zealand have had a good 5-goal lead and they've let Australia back into the game. And those are just areas of play that you'd like to see when they get that far ahead, that they can keep pushing on. Paula Griffin just out warming up, so preparing in case she needs to come on for Tutaia.
And I guess that's the beauty of what Ruth Aitken has done, in that she has blooded Paula Griffin, so she'd be confident for her to come on. But it looks like Maria Tutaia is sucking it up and going to continue on.
Things underway again here at Vector Arena. Big pass from George. Good ball speed shown from the Ferns, but Corletto read that one.
Oh, it was dangerous to make, wasn't it? Right across the circle, and it was quite a flat pass.
It was good defence from the Australians down there. They both pushed their players away from the ball, much like the Ferns just have done now.
Nice work from Tutaia. Every goal attack and every wing attack should take note from that. You stay with your player. Well, Furman no longer got her head down. She's waiting for those passes from Langman. Wow, Hallinan all over George.
Yes, I'm sure she would have got that instruction in the break.
Well, Irene Van Dijk almost got a hand in the face for her troubles from Corletto.
Yeah.
It's Furman, though, that's called for the contact.
Yeah. Back, sorry.
She may have had the better of Van Dijk in a test or two. But so far, Van Dijk has got it all over the youngster. Van Dijk playing in her 172nd international. Good chase down by Green.
A break off the Australian centre pass. So here's an opportunity for the Silver Ferns to take it out again. They can score off this break. It will be very important for them. They have the next centre pass.
Good patience here from the Ferns.
That's the one. Lovely triangle pass. Opened up the options inside the circle with the feed to the top of the circle.
So there's the big pass all the way across. George just with a quick flick to the top onto Van Dijk. No, we're talking about Van Dijk, 172 matches, which includes tonight, and the youngster standing beside her, Furman, playing at just her 9th. Green.
Katrina Grant doing a great job then of tracking Pratley, but Pratley just popping through at the last minute.
5 the difference. As you say, Julie, Silver Ferns, they get out to these 5-goal leads, but then allow Australia back in.
Yes, lovely. Again, quick delivery. Ball out of the hand of the players. It's ball speed as opposed to body speed.
This Irene Van Dijk's husband, Christy, here tonight to celebrate. Yes, and Green called for the contact. He likes that one. This crowd does too, as Henry hits the contact. So a turnover for the Silver Ferns. Langman almost got a coat hanger from Berto. Yes, George asking Van Dijk maybe to clear out of that space to allow Tutaia to roll the top of the circle, create a bit of space.
This time held high, gave herself plenty of room to drop to the base.
David Tua enjoying the game.
Gosh, he's looking fit.
Well, is it just over a week until the big fight between him and Shane Cameron? Kiwi heavyweights going head-to-head. Pretty sure this match between the Silver Ferns and Australia is almost like a heavyweight match as well. Bodies everywhere. A few sucker punches from players. And another turnover. Worrying signs here for Normal Plummer and her charges. Ferns ahead by 8.
Penalty, New Zealand.
The Silver Ferns all over Australia in the first half of this match.
Please. Yep. Obstruction, goalkeeper, hard to stop. There you are.
Big pass from Tutaia.
Well, she knew time was nearly out. So trying to get the ball down as quickly as possible to nail one more before the whistle.
And a contact call on Paulito.
This is a penalty. She can take the shot.
So the Silver Ferns charge out to a 10-goal lead at half-time. Some wonderful signs for the New Zealand side as they go to the break ahead. 28, Australia 18.
Second quarter for the Silver Ferns. Half-time, they lead the Australian Diamonds by 10 goals. Really quite an unbelievable score when you consider what's happened in this series, Julie.
Yes, the 10-goal scoreline, Tony, reflected in these stats. New Zealand have put 12 more attempts up to that of Australia, so some really good attack working happening. And you can see they're superior in the intercepts, are superior in the rebounding, and they've made less turnovers and given away less penalties.
All right, let's take a look at our player in the spotlight, and it is 22-year-old Maria Tutaia. Only shooting at 69%, 9 from 13, but she's taken one intercept, playing an intelligent game at goal attack and combining well with Irene Van Dijk, some slick passing and some strong, sharp movements.
Yes, it certainly has been an intelligent game for the Silver Ferns in this first half. Now, Jordan van der Meijden, I told you we had some famous faces here tonight. He's got another one with you. Who have you got, George?
I've got rugby league legend Steve Price with me now. Steve, tonight in the test, it must be a tough one because it's not league, surely you must be supporting the Silver Ferns.
Oh, no, mate, I still got to go for the Diamonds, but I'm wearing black tonight. That's all the wardrobe is at the moment, but I certainly going for Australia, but very good game with the Silver Ferns playing well.
Totally. Now, a big weekend in rugby league, semi-finals this weekend. Who are your picks to get that finals position?
Yeah, mate, obviously want the Bulldogs to beat Parramatta, and I think Melbourne will beat the Broncos, so the Parramatta are pretty dangerous, so see what happens.
Nice. Well, Steve, I hope the league gets better after that operation. Enjoy your break from rugby league and enjoy the rest of the test, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Tonight is the last chance for New World shoppers to win themselves a Holden Cruise, not a bad prize, and 5 shoppers have been selected to have a crack. All they have to do, it's quite simple, is get the ball through the hoop. There you see number 1 getting his through. Very well done. I can tell you the second contestant stepping up to the plate. It's not bad distance, pretty straightforward. This is the second round. He's missed it here. Still the second round. Remember, 1 miss and you're a gone burger. Another miss, which means the man in the background with the glasses, Morgan Kutia, wins himself a Holden Cruise. Congratulations. Go, good. Yeah, good, just fine. 28-18, the score here at half-time at Vector Arena. The Silver Ferns lead the Diamonds by 10 goals. And, Kerry, you wouldn't think there'd be any changes given how well that second quarter went.
No, look, the Silver Ferns are looking very sharp and more established than they have in the last 5 tests, I guess you could say, if you count the World 7 matches as well. And also be interesting to see if Norma Plummer looks to her bench, although it looks to me like she's got her strongest lineup on as well.
There's worrying times for Australia. Norma Plummer having a chat to her shooters Susan Prattley and the skipper Sherelle McMahon. And, well, it could have been worse for Australia, to be perfectly honest. Julie, you said in the statistics just earlier that New Zealand has had 12 more shots at goal than Australia, but they only lead by 10.
That's right. They've both been shooting at the same percentage, both at 82%. But that is a very healthy lead against the Australians for the Silver Ferns. But the big thing now is maintaining that lead. And we saw it the other evening in the final stages, that mental toughness from the Silver Ferns. Let's hope they've learned something from that. And let's hope that they can come out here with the resolve and the confidence and the mental toughness to take this right to the wire.
Well, it'd be a crime if they let go this 12-goal lead, a 10-goal lead, excuse me, 28-18 in favour of the Silver Ferns. Pretty relaxed Silver Ferns bench when they returned after the 10-minute half-time. And I'm pretty sure the Silver Ferns will be feeling pretty good about this lead that they've got at the moment. Means that they can turn and let the ball go without any fear.
Well, I think they've just got to say new game. It starts here. You know, put that 10 in the bank and then bank it and then just say, right, new game underway.
And a mistake straight away from McMahon, but Grant Dunford playing the ball on the ground.
Oh, Williams, exquisite. That is difficult to do, coming from behind the attacking player and getting the tip.
Well, we talked about the Silver Ferns getting some confidence before the UK tour. I think this will do it.
They just seem to have more hunger at this stage, which you would expect when you're well down in the series.
Well, we're lucky to have the Diamonds coach, Norma Plummer, courtside with us. Norma, not a great deficit to be down by, but what was the focus during the halftime talk?
Oh, well, we've got to stop the loose balls and just passing them away. But I think that our opportunity in the first quarter just didn't come off with the change-up. I think that put us on the back foot, and now we've had to make up ground. And certainly the Ferns are taking the ball, you know, and just moving it out, and we're going to have to work hard to get anything back now.
So how do you get back in the game, Norma? What's the plan?
We need to be able to change up our game and think a little bit beyond just one-on-one.
Norma, really appreciate your time. We'll let you get back into the match.
Thank you.
So, good, great comments there from Norma Plummer. McMahon, again, good defence from the Silver Ferns, holding up that attack line of Australia. Prattley with a nice long shot.
Timotara George, quick off the line, nearly gave it away.
Helen and Nelly coming up with an intercept. And Silver Ferns coach Ruth Aiken is also joining us courtside. Ruth, you'd be pretty happy with this lead that you had at halftime?
Oh, yes, but, you know, against Australia, it's never over till it's over. So this quarter's really important that we push on from there.
So what did you say to them at halftime for that, Ruth? Because in the past, they've come back into the game, they've let them back in.
Yeah, the thing is that we have to keep doing the early preparation on attack and keep really working together in the end. So it's keeping that
great structure, and on defence it's just pressure.
Ruth, just before you go, was there any talk about Irene's 100th prior to the game with the team?
A little. I mean, everyone was delighted for her, but yeah, it's bigger than that.
Appreciate your time, Ruth. Indeed it is, but it would be a great way to celebrate, wouldn't it? Thrashing Australia in your 100th test. No one in the game could say that, you know, they were able to do that with Silver Ferns dress, that's for sure.
No, if I remember rightly, Irene's first game against Australia didn't go so well, so she'll be wanting to do the damage tonight. They lost, but she was just so excited to be playing for the Ferns.
That was way back in 2000.
Yes, and they didn't just lose, they were thrashed. But she did only play half of the match. She came on at half-time.
Contact called on George on the outside of the circle.
So just great defence work right from the word go. The attack on defence for the Silver Ferns were up and over that ball quickly, and they almost got the steal at the defensive end. It nearly paid off for them.
Well, Williams unlucky. Greatly punishes the goal defender, though, having to stand out of play. Green.
Great work from Green between two players.
McMahon driving hard to the ball, and Grant picks the pass off. Yes, Green. Nice intercept from her. Henry under a bit of pressure to release the pass. So Australia within 9 now.
Yes, it's such a shame. It's a great intercept from Grant and just couldn't finish it off for her, the attack.
Well, Van Dijk lucky not to come up. Will be called for
replay.
Yeah. Nice dish off from Tutaia. Pauletto, but close on that occasion. But again, they just want to keep disrupting the shot of Van Dijk's.
Yes, go, yes.
She's been solid on her shot, though, Van Dijk, under that pressure, 92%.
Great defence from the Silver Ferns. Good pressure from Temepara George right off the centre pass, and that was continued by Langman. Nice little back to herself from Pratley. Nice work from Langman, stepping around the 3-foot marker. Take from Van Dijk.
Just good patience employed on attack right through and finished off in this way with a nice pass over the top to the holding Van Dijk.
And a good choice from George. Tutaia left on her own. Pauletto nowhere to be seen. 12 the difference now. They had a contact call on Green.
It was on McMahon. Goal attack.
Now frustration from the skipper. Trying to push her way through off the centre pass.
She can tend to get a little frustrated in the game if it's not going their way.
Nice little cut there from Tutaia. Change of pace.
Offside, wing defence. Right there, yes.
Offside call, so yes. Tutaia must take it in the circle.
She can't actually do that, can she? When it's an offside call.
You can't take a shot.
No, we won't tell the Jamaican ref that, though. It was a beautiful shot.
It's a pass only on an offside.
Oh, well, who cares? Nothing but that on that shot. Jeepers. Yeah, Henry, she read that well. Couldn't quite come up with the ball, though.
The Silver Ferns zone has really been working for them. the Australians are finding it very difficult to bring the ball through the court.
Henry and Green, they're having a good little battle. Henry called for the contact. Green clapping the umpire, saying, great call. Henry, though, I'll tell you, she looked at her and said, look at the board, sister. We're ahead by 13. Love it. It's the intriguing thing of these battles between Australia and New Zealand is the personal battles between players. A few words said. I won't quite go so far as sledging, but...
That is one of the more aggressive matchups on the court at the moment, Jolene Henry and Kimberly Green.
Australia, not many answers at the moment.
Run, please. Yes.
And Green.
The pass just delayed too long then, and it gave the New Zealand defenders an opportunity.
Grant, I like the way she took her feet on that ball.
Yeah, and she was ruining the missed opportunity. The defence doing really well, though, for New Zealand. They're not letting Australia get that speed through court that they had in the last test. They were caught running behind them a little last time. Not tonight.
Well, Van Dijk stepping in. She gets one and rebound, though.
Well, they've been strong on their rebounds, the Silver Ferns.
Contact, goalkeeper.
Both ends of the courts, look at that. So the missed shots have been picked up by their attack.
Nice work from Grant to get back in there to look at defending the shot. Pratley was waiting for her to get back in there before she put the shot up. Yeah, Hallinan called for the contact obstruction.
This Australian defensive end certainly hasn't made as much of an impact as they have in previous games.
I think the Silver Ferns are using the umpires quite well, because the umpires will call the defence more, and we just saw that there with George. She just waited for that call. She stepped into the player, and certainly the Australians have been penalised more than that of New Zealand.
Great switch between Grant and Williams.
Would have been mighty close to a held ball.
Yeah, contact called on Pratley. She doesn't like it. George stepped in on that occasion. Still obstruction from Australia.
I know, that's where the umpires say advantage obstruction. It's such a hard game to understand, netball, isn't it? Because the umpire says advantage obstruction. There is no advantage.
Julie Corletto just added another intercept to Casey Williams' tally,
which is sitting at 2 for the skipper.
New Zealand double that of Australia, though, and the intercept count, and that's when New Zealand have been really strong outside that defensive circle with Langman, the combination of Langman, Henry and Williams.
It would be really good at this point to see the Silver Ferns extend their lead and not just sit on an even quarter with the Australians.
Well, that's right, the way they've been playing, they certainly deserve for that score to blow out a little bit more.
Goal defense, contact, shuttle pass. Yes.
Well, it would be a great finish to the series after losing it for them to actually hammer it home in this one. It would give them a great deal of confidence.
Yes, well, Norma Plummer's been quite vocal about how it doesn't matter what the Silver Ferns throw at them, these Australian Diamonds are ready for it, and so to win by a big margin will take back some of that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Silver Ferns would have taken that on board as well.
Pratley, very tidy on the baseline.
Henry.
Contact, wing, penalty, New Zealand.
Great pass from Tutaya. Full of confidence, the 22-year-old.
Yeah, the delivery's great, isn't it? There's no hesitation with it. And as you say, Jenny May, full of confidence, letting it go.
Now the Silver Ferns, look at that, jammed. Absolutely, those defenders in there, jamming Pratley and McMahon. McMahon is not happy with the call. She's called for a contact.
So nothing going Australia's way at the moment. Some great defensive work from the Silver Ferns. Not happy with that phase of play.
McMahon searching, and Von Berto lets her off the hook. A little tussle going on between Grant and McMahon. So Irene Van Dijk sitting on 90% so far in this match. 90% for her, 78 for her opposite, Pratley down the other end. Van Dijk takes the score to 39, 12 the difference. So the Ferns will go into this final quarter with a little bit more of an edge than they did at half-time. So Australia staring down at a thrashing here at Victor Arena in Auckland. They trail the Silver Ferns by 11. Is New Zealand ahead 39, Australia 28.
New Zealand here at Victor Arena, three-quarter time, and New Zealand lead the Diamonds by 11 goals. They've forced the Aussies into changes, Kitty.
Yes, look, Catherine Cox has come on to goal shoot, and Natalie Medhurst has come on to goal attack. Norma Plummer trying to do something different to get the score back. Jenny May.
Well, she had to, didn't she, really?
And not a lot of other options on her bench, really. She's tried the mid-court change, and the defenders are already without some of their top-line players, so probably the most predictable change.
Well, Williams gets into things. Now, she wasn't very happy with her game on Sunday against Australia. Thought she was outdone by her opposite, Sherelle McMahon. She'll be pretty pleased tonight. She's got the Australian skipper on the bench.
Yep.
So Sherelle McMahon won't be overly happy about that call.
Contact outside, wing penalty, New Zealand. Outside, Jeff.
Wow, well done, Coletto. She got down nicely for that. The bounce pass just a little bit easy to read. It was always going there.
And Langman. Oh, it would have been fitting for that to be tidied up by the Silver Fern. Well, we talked about Grant pulling off one of those earlier in the match. Coletto shows us how to do it also.
Again, good work from the Silver Ferns defensively. They had Australia jammed on the sideline there. And just let them off the hook. Cox. on the board, 1 from 2.
Well, Cox hasn't been seen since game 1. Benched by Norma Plummer and then sustained an injury, so didn't take part in the last test. Nice mixing it up on the circle edge from George and Langman.
Just getting a little bit static in the New Zealand shooting circle, though. Their bodies are probably getting pretty tired. And, you know, this is the 7th or 8th test in a very short period of time, and you can see it, just that little lack of movement now. 4th quarter of the match.
Well, Tute saves the bodies, puts up a long shot. Great defensive pressure and a held ball. Not sure it was, but it was the look on Green's face and the waving of the arms that might have called the umpire's attention, and a contact called on Henry. Not happy.
Great battle between Kim Green and Jolene Henry, both giving each other pats on the back.
That's great. I love it. Have to have a chat to her afterwards and say, okay, what was said? Langman.
Athletic, brilliant, great skill. She went up with one hand and pulled it in. You get slightly more height when you go up with just the one.
Big pass from Henry. Pays off with the contact called on Furman. And then Corletto puts the hip in. Let's have a look at that intercept from Laura Langman. Hard to go backing up like that, though. Very tough. Langman made it look easy. So does Van Dyke.
So again, the Silver Ferns out of the blocks very quickly at the start of the quarter, and another turnover to boot.
Oh, plenty of pressure from Casey Williams.
So they've started each quarter strongly and just had the Australians having to chase.
Lazy pass from Tute, found the hands of Furman.
Yes, I think that's just that tired play that we're just discussed on attack.
Cox with a long shot. She'll be relishing the opportunity to be out there regardless of the score.
Sorry.
It's good to see then the defence really work that ball right up to the transverse line, allowing the attacks to get ahead of the ball.
Nice away hand tipped from Corletto, then regathered it. Got down the... Oh, brilliant pass.
Brilliant vision, wasn't it, from Medhurst. She was right up in the centre third, saw Cox move out of the circle.
Have a look at that outside arm by Corletto, chases it down.
But the finishing play was just as spectacular from Cox and Medhurst.
Contact, Australia!
Contact called on Bomberto.
Again, the opportunity to score there for the Silver Ferns and take it one more ahead.
Good chase down by Green. What's the umpire going to call?
That was excellent skills from Casey Williams. She was as clean as a whistle.
Green called for the contact. Well, a step called from Washington. Now the umpire calls it after a couple of passes. We go back for a step from Williams. It was good defence from Helen that caused that. Oh, Henry.
Oh, lovely stuff.
Well, are they having fun or what?
Well, it looks like they're enjoying their netball for a change. We haven't seen smiles on their faces for a while.
Well, it's the form we were desperately wanting the Silver Ferns to produce.
Well, I always felt at the beginning of the series when they won that first test in Sydney that they should have taken more tests than they have in this series, that they had the capability, and it's just great to see it out here this evening.
Van Dijk got one of her trademark, not quite a dunk, but a running shot in the hoop in her 100th test.
And that was a beautiful shot from Catherine Cox, right on the edge of the circle.
Nice shot from Tutaia. Cox.
Ready, friends? Please tidy that up. Contact penalty pass. Yes? Yes?
Nice roll from Cox.
Advantage contact. Advantage outside. Ready, friends? Australia. Outside. Yes?
Big pass across from Medhurst.
That's possession. Roll attack. Yes?
Medhurst's first shot in the quarter. Long time coming.
Jackson, goalkeeper. Pass the shot. 5 feet, 1 step. Shooter. Back.
Well, Van Dijk giving the ball up for Tutaia. There's that height mismatch again, looking to dish it off, but Tutaia is comfortable with the shot.
And that's great. She took the pressure off Van Dijk there by putting that shot up.
And again, there's that defensive pressure from the Ferns.
She's had a solid game, Tutaia. Again, almost a tip from Langman.
Good shove in the back from Williams.
Meet keeper, please. Meet the keeper. Yes.
Kath Cox, though, not too worried about it, just gets on with the job. Yeah, there's that dodge again, and a great pass from George to find Van Dijk on the baseline. Well, it's worked for her all night.
I'd really like to see the Silver Ferns go through and take this third quarter as well. They've won each quarter of the match.
What a take from Grant.
And if they keep making intercepts like that, they will win this final quarter as well.
So ball speed.
Ball was on and great take. Ruth almost having a smile there, almost, but not quite.
Oh, I want to see Waimanama Tomoni's face. That's it. I want to see if she's got a smile on her face yet.
Oh, terrific drive from George to the top of the circle there. Straight to the goal.
Nice cutback from Medhurst. Oh, Langman almost picks off that intercept at the top of the circle. And Grant again.
Yes?
Grant's had an outstanding game tonight.
Actually, I think all the Ferns have played well. You know, there's some games where you can't pick one player, and then there are other situations where you could pick every one of them. And
isn't that a great situation to be in, Jules?
Tremendous. They've all done their job tonight.
Almost tried to get it between the legs then, Langman. Not sure she was out of court, actually.
This was almost a Federer shot.
Oh,
I thought she was going to try and pop it between the legs.
Nice defensive deflection from Henry.
Contact, goal attack, penalty. Contact, goal attack, centre third. Stephen.
Well, the Silver Ferns will take plenty of heart and plenty of confidence from this performance against Australia. The Diamonds really having no answer, firstly, to the Silver Ferns' defensive zone. Also failing to wrap up this attacking end as well, stop the flow.
And they're doing what we asked, Jenny May. They're finishing strongly as well. 12-7 in this quarter.
Timothy George, who we just saw on the screen, she's had a heck of a lot to do with the success of this performance tonight.
She's had a good solid series, Timothy George. Well, great to have her back in the mix. Wow. That could have been anybody's, but it was no one's.
No, well, I think Henry was looking for George. George thought it was going to one of the shooters. You know what, though? They'll probably be thinking, I'll let that one go. Corletto, Green. Well, just counting the time down here, really.
And look at this, it's great defence work. They're working right to the end here. The Silver Ferns, that zone, really slowing the ball down for the Australians on attack. And they come away with it.
Well,
again, superb. That is her. How many intercepts has Grant had?
Three
clear. And been very clean defensively, Grant. Just the 8 contacts and 3 obstructions. And look at that. New Zealand's intercepts double that of Australia's.
Well, the Silver Ferns have certainly given this crowd here at Victor Arena something to smile about.
Just forcing that last ball in there. They know the clock's stuck here on 1 minute to go, so they know it's within the final minute. That's all the players know. They don't know how many seconds. So still a chance for Australia to score on this one.
As the fans start to get in behind this Silver Ferns team and count them down towards the end.
It's been a superb display this evening from the Silver Ferns side. They have not lost a quarter. They've started every quarter strongly, at times allowed the Australians back in, but finished beautifully.
And a fitting result for Irene Van Dijk, regarded as the best shooter in the world. She gets to celebrate her 100th Test match for the Silver Ferns in winning style. The world's most capped player has achieved everything in the sport. A world champion, a Commonwealth Games gold medalist, and now 100 Tests for New Zealand. And the Silver Ferns can take plenty of heart from tonight's win. They'll leave our shores in a week's time for the UK for the end of year tour with a lot of confidence. After thrashing the world champion Diamonds 52-36.
We won't be opening the doors to the courts until that's finished, so please stay in your seats. I'd now like to call forward.
So it'll be a dejected Diamonds team tonight. Norma Plummer. Well, you'd hazard a guess that she wouldn't be so happy with this performance, but we never know what Norma's going to say. But it has been a special performance by the Silver Ferns.
Well, Ruth Aiken, congratulations. You must be thrilled with that performance.
Yeah, it was nice to finally put it all together. Great team effort.
What were you most proud of out there tonight?
I think the way that we kept on keeping on. You know, we'd let Australia back in the game before, but I thought we pushed on really well, and that was fantastic.
Irene Van Dijk, her 100th Test match. What did you make of her performance tonight?
I thought she was wonderful. It was just great to see. I look forward to the next 100.
All the best for the World Series. Thanks, Ruth.
Thank you very much.
Well, congratulations, Norma, on the series win, but I'm sure you would have wanted that win tonight.
Oh yeah, we would have, but we, tried the move in the first quarter. It didn't pay off, and I thought they put us on the back foot. And then we went into a bit of chase mode, and we didn't move the ball at all. So full credit to the Ferns. I mean, they came out with passion, and they did it for Irene. You could see that.
And the series, what has that brought home to you for your team? Where do you go to from here?
Well, I think that was a great finish, because it always makes you realise you've never got it until the grand final of the Commonwealth Games and you stand with the trophy. So it's a great lesson. That's why I changed up the team. They all needed to experience it, and I think from that you'll learn more.
Thank you, Norma.
No doubt Norma Plummer will learn more from this, but it is the Silver Ferns night here at Vector Arena. The final score 52-36. Stay with us, we have the presentation for this series after the break.
International Netball Series is proudly brought to you by New World. We love netball as much as you do.
Netball Series, the Silver Ferns versus the Australian Diamonds. Another inspiring display of international netball at its very best. To open tonight's proceedings, I'd like to call forward General Manager Retail of Foodstuffs Auckland, Murray Jordan.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, players, officials, volunteers, congratulations to both teams for an outstanding game. Well done to the Silver Ferns for coming out on top tonight. You continue to make us proud. And to the Australian Diamonds, congratulations on the series win, and thank you for providing such tough competition for our team throughout each of the games. At New World, we're committed to supporting netball at every level in New Zealand, from up-and-coming champions to the armies of volunteers at schools and clubs around the country, right through to the Silver Ferns, one of the finest teams in the world, who consistently demonstrate incredible passion, skill and drive. Thanks also must go to the team at Netball New Zealand for all the hard work and commitment you've put in to make this fantastic test series happen. Well done again to both teams for such an exciting and top quality performance. And thanks again to New Zealand for loving netball as much as we do, and for standing alongside New World as proud sponsors of our Silver Ferns.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief Executive Netball New Zealand, Irene Castle.
Thank you, Hemi. Thank you to everyone here at Vector Arena and at home tonight for your fantastic support of the Silver Ferns in the 2009 New World International Netball Series. Congratulations to Casey, Ruth and Y and the Silver Ferns on winning the test tonight. We're very proud of your outstanding work across the whole home and away series, and I'm sure Irene will agree there was no better way to celebrate her 100th test match tonight. Well done on a tough-fought series, and I am certain that these games will stand you in very good stead as we work towards the Commonwealth Games next year. Our congratulations to Sherelle, Norma and the Australian Diamonds on winning the 5-test series, and thank you for giving us, as always, the best and toughest netball competition in the world. We wish you safe travelling home and look forward to meeting you on the court again in England. Both teams now travel to England to compete in the new format World Netball Series. This is an exciting new innovation for international netball, and we wish both teams well for this tournament. Finally, a very warm thank you and appreciation to our elite sponsor New World, gold sponsors Fisher & Paykel and McCain, strategic partner Spark, broadcast partners TVNZ and the Radio Network, Holden, Adidas and Southern Cross. Thank you very much.
It's time now to congratulate the winners of the 2009 New World International Netball Series. Please welcome to the podium captain of the Australian Diamonds, Sherelle McMahon.
So there you have it, Sherelle McMahon, the captain of the Australian Diamonds, just going up to collect the trophy. They've won the series 3-2, and that's the Australian team there looking very happy.
Taking home the trophy after losing tonight's game the way we did, but I must say a huge congratulations to New Zealand.
And now to announce our player of the series, there she is, right in the middle, wing attack, Temi Pata-George. She has been a sensation in this series, had 2 years out of the game. She's come back, slotted right back into that mid-court and has really directed that attacking end. And there she is, Temi Pata-George. Congratulations, and she will be a force for the Commonwealth Games. Well, now just to recap our shoot for silver competition, the New World shoppers, remember, all 5 of them had a chance to win themselves a Holden cruise tonight. Pretty awesome prize. So there you have it. That is the eventual winner there. He got that one first in, and then the others had the chance to match him. A miss there, one more miss. This is the second round. Oh no, that means the winner is Morgan Kutia. Holden cruise for him. He walks away a happy man, as the Australian team as well. So just to recap the score for you here at Victor Arena, 52-36. New Zealand have beaten the Australian Diamonds. Stay with us, we'll have more after the break.
I'ma chase that feeling like and I'ma chase that feeling, take that pain and replace that feeling, and I'ma take that healing. Walking on a dream, how can I explain? Talking to myself, will I see again? We are always running for the thrill of it, always pushing up the hill, searching for the thrill of it. All along, we are calling out now to get, never looking down, I'm just in awe of what's in front of me.
Yes, so what lovely wee tribute there to Irene van Dijk, playing her 100th game here at Victor Arena, and what a game it was for her. Fantastic result. Remember, this is the end of the Australian series, but there is still a long season of netball to come for the Silver Ferns.
So that wraps up the series against Australia. Now the Ferns head to Manchester for the World Series, then a one-off test against England in Bath, and then on the way home, 2 tests against Jamaica.
So just to recap the score here, 52-36, 16 goals is actually the 3rd highest win the Silver Ferns have over Australia ever. So a fantastic night for them, a fantastic night for Irene van Dijk. Australia have won the series, but New Zealand can walk away from this with their heads held high. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching tonight's match. See you at the next one.